Kind of dark in here. Now, the room isn't dark, but for some reason on the screen that's coming off to me is pretty dark. But we're just going to have to live with it. Just saying. Now, I've done a couple lives in the middle of the night because that's normally when I'm up. And I've been wanting to talk to some of my regulars, but apparently none of them's been up in the middle of the night, so I thought I would come on now. Now, there's no plan today because I am not well. And that's kind of what we're here to talk about. Okay, volume's down. Now, you'll notice that I dwell on the phone where it's normally for you, it's a click click. Now, I'm not trying, now, I've gotten to where anything on a white piece of paper, I can't read it. I have to have all my phones on dark mode. And just where you see this is bright up here, is causing me trouble. Nobody's in here yet. But yeah, I'm just picking this moment because I'm not having a good day. I'm not having a good time. Put it that way. You know, I may come off as amiable right now, but it feels like right now someone is spinning me around and around and around. Now, I got up and I took care of the animals. That's the first thing I do every day. When I get up, I get my shit together as best I can and I take care of the animals. Hello, Christy. Hello, JJ. But today, I almost fell 4 times just trying to feed the animals and use the bathroom. After I usually wake up, I'll sit for an hour, because of my condition, try to get myself together. And the first thing I do is feed the animals. And we waited over an hour today and we got up like we usually do. And like I said, I've almost fallen repeatedly. Now, there's important calls I've been needing to make, and I've been waiting this whole month for a day that I'm actually fully functional. Because you guys don't know it, but with my condition, I hid a lot from YouTube for a long time. I stopped doing daily content because I stopped having the ability to do daily content. Hello, Linda. Hello, Coachisms. But I am all the time feeling like I am just spinning. And this is doing nothing but getting worse and worse. And I've had a couple late night lives because, as I mentioned, I'm so dysfunctional. I only have a window every day of functionality. And lately it's been in the middle of the night. Now, I have been trying to get that functionality to the day so I can get some important stuff done that I need to. And right now, my head, I feel pretty good, except for the fact that I'm spinning and falling. Hello, communicator. Well, Jojo, I'm not sitting in the dark. Just saying. YouTube sucks. You get what you get. Just saying. It's dark because I don't have 200 fucking watts on. See, once again, you non-YouTube creators know little about, the intricacies and details of YouTube. If you wanted this to look pretty, right now I've got up here 100 watt bulb. For it to look pretty, I would have to have 2 100 watt bulbs. Just saying. But yeah, I have not been well at all, and this is doing nothing but get worse. Now, some of you have been here a while, remember Pindar helping me. Now, once again, I didn't talk about my condition because, I had functional days and non-functional days. But as time is going on, I don't have functional days. It's just how it's gotten it is. And I have lived the last year off of hopeless optimism. Now, I have figured out in this last month and a half that hopeless optimism in trying is not going to work. So that's kind of why we're here, is because I'm going to talk about it now. because this isn't going to get any better. I am not going to get any better. So there's no use on me hiding it from YouTube. Hello, Ash. But, used to be, for more of my regulars, I did a lot of analytical content. This is why I stopped doing analytical content. Because I get everything mixed up now. If you give me the choice between A and B, I'll keep mixing A and B up. And the more A and B's you give me, the more I start to mix shit up. Now, once again, the reason why probably comes down to my parents hit me in the fucking head repeatedly again and again and again and again and again. This is probably the reason why. Well, thank you, Linda. But like I say, I'm not getting any better. And it sucks too, because, I could bring content. So what I wanted to do and have tried to do for the last several months is work on my story channel. I got a couple preamble videos done to, basically analyzing the content that I want to do, and then one little short on the content. And that's all I've been managed to do in 7 months. And that's why I said at this point, hopeless optimism is not working for me. Hello, Cass. Cass, you will probably want to go back to the beginning, because this is kind of serious. And then you'll want to catch up to now. But yeah, I can't tend my garden. I can't do most basic things now. Now, when I busted my head in March, once again, I have limited amount of functionality, and I have to do all of my laundry with rainwater. So in March, we had a big rain, and I forced myself up to do the laundry, and I fell, busted my head, gave myself a concussion, and was on my back for a month when I had important things that needed done, which we'll talk about another time. Because once again, in Roger's life, everything has been a shitstorm. And it's been like this for a little bit, and I've hid it from YouTube because I've been trying to sort it out. But once again, because of my functionality, it's not working. Hello, Steve. Steve, you'll probably want to go back to the beginning. Ash, I'll have to find your account, and I will. But right now, honestly, like I say, with my condition, this is why I had to have Pindar help me, because I cannot navigate if you have like one of these, see, I'm having problems right now with my condition. I'm trying to say something simple I know, and it's like, the sensation of when you jump in a pool and all of the water and everything goes over your head, and you're kind of engulfed in that for a second, and you really, when you do that, you really don't think. That's like what I'm experiencing right now. Like I say, I'm trying to say something simple and understandable, but it feels like I have just jumped into a pool. And this is why I had to have Pindar help me, because I can't navigate phones. When you get to one of these banks that says, hit this button, I am so off in my space, it's, you're just, I'm all over the place. I hit the right button about 1 time in 3. And they usually on these things, they want you to hit multiple buttons. So that means maybe 1 time out of 15 or 20 times trying it, I can get it right. And that's why I had to have Pindar helping me. And this has gotten worse and worse and worse, to where it just doesn't even work on functionality. I'll show you another example. See the bruised finger? Now, you're wondering, what did you do to your finger? Now, this was done over a month ago. just to give you a context of how bad it looked at one time, you know, I did that over a month ago, and you see how purple the nail still is? And you're going to, now feel free to laugh, but remember I said I'm kind of off in my space and spending? I shut the front door on my hand. I'm left handed. You know, for those that don't know, I am left handed. So I was shutting the door with my left hand, and I shut my right hand in the door because everything to me right around my space feels like it's off. You know, like I'm just spinning a little bit. I thought I had my hand inside the house fully, but I literally shut the heavy ass front metal door on my finger. Hello, Sherry. Well, Cass, they said they really can't do much for me. You know, that's what they said before. And then they threw me to Mindsight, who discontinued serving me during COVID because they were scared they were going to get sick with the flu. Well, actually, my friend communicator, at this point, it's either at the point of laugh or cry. And I don't cry. So this is where I have to make a joke out of as much as I can because it sucks, because I am a good creator. And I used to make some real interesting content. But as I mentioned before, you know, I used to have videos every day. And this is the reason why it stopped. And once again, I kept thinking, this is going to get better. My conditions seem to be very phase-like. It's like right now, I've got one drink in the bottom of this. Now, I've got water in a cooler in the barn, but there's no way I can get to it. Like I said, there's important shit that I really need to be doing right now, but the only thing I can do is sit in this chair. And this is my seizure chair. Well, hello, nothing. Well, hurry up. Who hurt me? Well, nothing actually physically hurts me now, but now, once again, this is where if we weren't talking about something fun, I would go on a large digression about all of my serious hurts in life. Now, if you want the big one, just real quick, when I was a young man and the love of my life was pregnant with my child, she ran off with my best friend. So, yes, that is who hurt me. But the lesson of my life is don't hit your kids in the head repeatedly. Well, actually, Dylan, I drink whatever's got fluid in it. Just saying. I live with no running water. I have to get all my water from a spring. And the guy that normally takes me to the spring has not been taking me to the spring. Because people are assholes, as you know. Because it comes down to there's nothing in it for him. In fact, I'll have that last drink right now. Because I am thirsty as hell. Because everything that I drink or eat is rationed. Well, Ash, it's the only thing now that's affordable. Because I've mostly given up soda pop completely. It's just sometimes I get a bit. Now, on Saturday, that's when I've been getting cat food because the dollar store, Dollar General, if you spend $25, you get $5 off. So the way I've been getting soda is on Saturday, I'll go up there and get my cat food, and then the $5 off, I'll get a couple 2 liters. And that was the last drink of the last 2 liter that I bought on Saturday. Well, thank you, Hookah. Now, I am still going to try to do some content. I am still going to try to do some entertaining stuff. But it's just going to be when I can. And also, once again, don't take me as seriously as you used to. I will say that because occasionally I might get something wrong. Because as I said, I started having seizures in 2015. And I can still remember the date completely. November 18th, 2015. It was a good day. I mean, you think that if you're going to start having seizures, it would be on a horrible day. I mean, that day, if I didn't have a seizure that day in the start of the seizures, I would have said that was the day that I laughed most. Up until I started the day, it was late in the afternoon when I started having the seizures. But I mean, it had been a good day. I mean, I had laughed more that day than I had in years. And we were sitting around, a group of us, and there was a lady in the group, and she said, "Roger, you're having a seizure." And I started to tell her, "No, I'm not having a seizure." And then I couldn't talk and nothing came out because I was having a seizure. No, Christy, I'm not monetized. Nope. Because once again, with the content, when I was doing serious content, I wasn't monetized because that would, people say, "You're only saying this for money." And no, because I'm not. I just had a wish list. That's all I've ever had on this channel. Not even a Cash App, just a wish list. Well, Hookah, you would have liked my content before. Like I say, it can be pretty drama-y, and we're still going to have fun here. Excuse me, we're still going to have entertainment. Now, offhand, when I'm doing content, I will get more serious death threats than anyone on the internet. In fact, we almost had a gunfight here the May before last with another YouTube creator. Well, I'm sitting in my game room. I have a 3-bedroom place, and I turned one of the bedrooms into a game room. And because I have seizures, I also many times sleep in my game room. And I am sitting on a big chair that you could not see. Now, the old style big living room chairs? I'm sitting in one of those, but I took the back out of it. So it leans back like this. Because like I say, I have seizures. And I also sit a lot lower in this chair. So you see where my elbows are here? That's where the top of the chair is. So I'm sitting right here in a big chair leaned back. That way, if I have a seizure, I'm not going to bust my head. Well, Ash, I will do that. Now, I can't promise on when, because like I say, I am coherent now. There were things that I needed to try to do on the phone by myself that I need to be doing right now, but I can't. I mean, my head, I can get, like I say, I still may have a moment here and there, but I mean, I'm like loopy all the time. I mean, it's like I'm fucking drunk all of the time. And this has just been getting worse. And this is why once again, we didn't talk about, what Pindar, the reasons and whys for Pindar needing to help me. But this is it. And this has just got nothing but worse. Well, actually, Henrik, I mean, Now, an interesting Roger story. I used to be an armed guard, or I'm a trained armed guard. I didn't like the job, so I quit it real quick. But, I'm a trained armed guard. I'm also an unbelievable marksman. Now, let's put this as was an unbelievable marksman, because I would not try to use a firearm now except in the defense of my own life. And then I would probably still use a Sharpie. Oh, I moved it. Like I say, I had a big Sharpie over here. Now, my Sharpie I moved because I opened a bag of cat food with it. This is my practice katana. This is made of wood. But usually I have another one over here that is not a practice katana. It's a killie blade. But I forgot that I moved that because, now, like I say, with my condition, I would probably use the killie blade before I would ever pick up the pistol. Well, Hookah, this isn't a gaming channel. This used to be a drama channel, and I'm going to turn it into a streaming channel. Now, occasionally on the streaming channel, I'll do some funny shit. I mean, you would not believe the amount of interesting characters that hate me on the internet. No, just a second, everyone. Like I say, this is normally, like I say, I used to do multiple lives a week. I used to do about 3 or 4. Sometimes I'd even do 3 or 4 lives in a week. But it's like right now, everything's so spinning. I got to take a second. Because all I'm doing is just this in my head. Now, it stopped. You'll notice that if I stop my speech, I'm having my condition. If you notice there's a halting in my speech, I'm having my condition. Well, thank you, Christy. Well, I could have a heart attack. Just saying. I'm going to at some point, because that's how all my family dies that dies of natural causes. Well, thank you, Hookah. I got the little assholes outside at the moment for the most part. With my condition, I accidentally busted one of my windows. I did that several months ago and didn't tell YouTube. So they got an easy in and out. It's normally the... see, I'm having my condition. It's normally the window I put the air conditioner in. But I'm not putting in an air conditioner this year because I can't afford it. So I'm going to live with a fan, stay up all night, and sleep in the morning when it's cool. And this is what I'll do in the summer. Now, when it's really, really hot, you can expect late night lives from me. Oh, Ash, Summer, she's a complete slut. I mean, I've managed to not let her get pregnant, and she ran out on me a few weeks ago. Ran from me. I mean, this would have been hilarious. I mean, if someone could have videoed this, this would have been viral. You would have seen Summer running from me with me chasing along behind her, gathering up 2 wild boys, and then running under the house. And she tag teamed both of them repeatedly. Now, Roger was not happy, and because of Roger's condition about that point, Roger just plopped down on the ground. And even without the phone, I sat there for 5.5 hours. And then she tried to sneak out and run past me, and I grabbed her real quick. Now, just one thing I don't also tell YouTube, my cat's a slut. Behind the scenes, I call her my slutty buddy. Because where most girls do not seek this out, Summer will run from her husband, her human, grab 2 guys and run under the house and have wild sex. So I expect Summer's pregnant. So, once again, if there's a funny, let's see, this is where on this channel, I will laugh at me. And I mean, if someone could have videoed this, this would have been hilarious on YouTube. Hello, Ronnie. Ronnie, you will probably want to go back to the beginning and listen at 2 speed because this is important. Oh, hookah. I live in the middle of nowhere. I have no rides. I have no access to anything. After my cooler is out of water, I will be living off of rainwater. But my bright point is I have clean clothes and a little bit of something to eat. And that's about it. Now, another thing that I've not been saying with my condition, things have been slipping my mind. This is another reason I stopped doing analytical content because, I started having mental slips. Now, these mental slips are getting worse and worse and worse and worse. I mean, there's been many times I've forgotten my food, remembered it, and went back there and found it a cinder. So I don't leave my food unattended anymore. And because I can't stand constantly without falling, I've got a toaster oven right here. Now, this used to be in my library, this set of shelves, but now that's what I cook on. I've got a crock pot, a toaster oven, and a hot plate on these shelves. So I do all my cooking now right next to where I sit because it's the only way now that I can cook safely. Hello, Jerry. Now, this is funny. I got a message held for review, and I can't even hit the button. I mean, oh well. I can hit show because it's pretty good. Oh. But man, like I say, it upsets me. Where someone says something bad about me on YouTube, it doesn't upset me. What it upsets me is these moments where when it shows like message held for review, and I mean, I can hit like that a dozen times and I ain't gonna hit it at this point. I have good days and I have bad days. And as I mentioned right now, my head is good. This is where I need to be dealing with the people that I need to deal with. But, I mean, I can't walk. I don't think I could make it to that door if my life depended on it. And this is an issue. So, yeah. So, like I say, where I mentioned before, I don't cry. So all I have to do is just sit and laugh and watch my life burn. Actually, Hookah, I've been living like this for ages. Now, used to be, I went to therapy every week. And then we had COVID. Now, because of my condition, I had what was called peer support. And I at least got a ride to the store or a little help with paperwork. And they were supposed to do more, but that's all I would basically get out of them. And I was happy with at least that. That was at least getting the shit done that I had to get done. And I was in a better condition then. And then COVID came along. And then, now, okay, I guess I'll do the long version of this. Now, for an example, we were sitting in line with my peer support. And I said, and I got a call. Now, this is the last time I ever got an offer to take me to the store. Last time ever. And this was years and years, about 4 years ago now. And I said, and they said, and I said, peer support, can you still take me to the store on Thursday? And she said, yeah. And I said, no, dude, I'm good. Peer support's going to take me on Thursday. And this was a Tuesday. Now, Thursday rolled around, and she couldn't take me to the store. And I said, why? And they said, because we're cutting your services. I said, I'm disabled. I have no way to the store. I can't function. And the only thing I said was these 3 words: I have rights. It's what I said. I said, I have rights. Only those 3 words. And I said it just like I said to you, in the same tone that I just said to you. And you know what they said? You threatened us. Those professionals that for 3 fucking years said, Roger, you're important. You mean so much to us. And then they blatantly fucking lied. Because if I want to threaten someone, I don't threaten, I just fucking do. And I inform people ahead of time what the repercussions of those actions are. Well, Duck, you can get blocked. Hide user on the channel. Have a nice day and suck my dick. Well, you will at some point on the channel. Now, once again, I used to be in the 1% crowd. So, I have a lot of story and I have a lot of interesting scars. I also have a lot of interesting, sharp things. And I don't even play with them anymore. Used to be. Now, I was still disabled starting this channel, but I could still do tricks with a knife. I can't anymore. I would not even think about it because I would just lay myself open. Well, Ronnie, this wasn't a government official. This was the people that served me at mine site. You see, in Kentucky, the state pays for services. Rather than the state having a state agency that does it, they contract it out. And so mine site was supposed to give me a lot more services than they did. But once again, they got to do what they wanted. And all I said was, I have rights. And they said, you threatened us. They don't know what a threat from me used to actually look like. A threat from me would be beat the hell out of you and put a blade to your neck. I mean, 20-year-old Roger, that's what a threat looked like. Now, I would never threaten a professional. I mean, that's just not in me. Now, someone that owed me drug money back in the day, hell yeah, I'm going to threaten those people with a real threat. Well, I live in a one-party consent state, which means I can hit the record button and anybody else can kiss my fucking ass. In fact, that's exactly what I tell people when they say you can't record. I say, this is a one-party record state, you're in public, and you can kiss my ass. And I say it just like that. Because, once again, I'm not afraid of a physical confrontation. But I mean, a lot of my pretenses has dropped. Now, another thing that I didn't bring to YouTube because of the trolls and idiots is my neighbor died. He died a few months ago. Now, then, of course, claim I killed him. No, his heart killed him. But yes, I've recently had a neighbor that's died. Well, that's one of the attractions to the channel. Normally that's what I do. I make stupid shit funny. That's typically what we do here. Sometimes I'll play some audio of somebody. Sometimes I'll tell stories. And sometimes when it's even worth it, I'll make fun of myself. And that's the point we're at today. Because once again, I physically cannot cry. So the only thing I can do is laugh. Well, like I said, my neighbor died because of his heart. The same way I'll eventually die. Unless I bust my head too much again, because, well, in March, since I don't have any water, I have to gather rainwater and do my laundry. And I was doing my laundry, and I bent down and started to get back up. I spun, I went down on the deck, and my head went right against that wooden floor. And for about a month, the only thing I could do is I took care of the animals. I got them food, and I mainly sat on my ass and lived off of chips and dip. Well, actually, I do need a little bit of help, but I'm going to do everything that I can myself. But I'm not asking for help today. Now, once again, I may need help at some point, but I'm trying to get everything taken care of. Now, I've tried to do this lives a couple times in the middle of the night because, as I mentioned earlier, in the middle of the night has been my functionality window lately, and it's needed to be in the day. And as I've mentioned, my head is pretty functional right now. It's just everything is spinning so bad for me right now. I spatially can't do anything. Oh, the animals here right now, I've just got cats. Just saying. Now, there's also a farm on either side of me that has no one living on it. And those have horses. And I make sure that the horses don't have any problems with predators. And that might be the only reason that I use a gun. Now, fortunately for me, if I'm opening up on the wild, I don't have to worry about hitting people. Well, thank you, Hare. Now, just a minute. Spinning. Now, the horses over here are mini horses. And there's a couple dozen of them. And they're adorable. Now, my neighbor over here has a couple horses, and I can get food out of his garden. And onions are over there right now if I go over there and get them. But I cannot go over there and get them right now. I need to put up a new mailbox, but I spin so bad I can't do it. Just a minute, everyone. Like I say, whenever I pause, I'm spinning. Or I should say spinning bad. It's kind of making me sick to my stomach. Now, normally spinning won't make me sick to my stomach, but it is today. We might have to go here in a minute. Just a minute, everybody. But yeah, this is kind of normally why I stopped doing lives regularly, because I didn't want to have a minute like this. Because people would say, Roger, what's wrong? Or are you on drugs? I've taken 3 hits off of a pot pipe today since 10 o'clock, and it's almost 1. So, I'm not even high. But I smoke pot for my seizures. Now, for those that's been here a while, if you'll remember when I talked about my seizures, I would say I'd have disorientation for a period before and after the seizures. Now, this is what I'm having with the spinning, but it's an almost all the time thing now. And it's not getting any better. And I don't quite know why. Well, Henrik, I'm on disability, but I'm up for disability review. and I can't make the calls that I need to because, as I said before, if you give me a phone, I hit the right number one time out of 3. So it can take me 15 to 20 times of calling the same number over and over and over and over again to navigate one of these customer no service bullshit lines. And that's why I usually have to have someone help me. And I don't have anyone to help me. See, for those that are new here, I buried my entire family. The reason why that I live here with no water is because I took care of my mother. She eventually got paralyzed, had to go to a nursing home, and they took everything and even tried to steal my farm. This used to be, for those that didn't know, this used to be a 33-acre farm and not a 20-acre farm. But I had to sell some land after my mother died to fight a court case and to try to live. Well, Heinrich, I say that a lot. I do. I say that a lot privately. You know, what has happened to our great nation. Now, because my internet talent is summing things up. You know, that's basically the thing that I'm great at, is explaining why, if you give me anything. And the reason why, weak people. My mother was a weak person. My last 2 girlfriends, they were such unbelievably weak human beings, you could not imagine it. And that's what it comes down to. Not physically weak, but mentally weak. You know, they just don't want to deal with it, or they want everything their way. Well, actually, Hookah, they ain't no center myself. See, what they did is they put me on a list for another therapist. Now, that was over 3 years ago. And I still don't have a therapist. You see, there is no going back anywhere. At COVID, they cut my services and left me to die. Now, I have been doing as best as I can, where I mentioned before, I would have functionality for a while, and then I'd have not functionality for a while. But it's gotten now in the last year where it's not functionality all the time. Well, thank you. So, you know, that's where, you know, there are people on the internet that care about me. And I'm being honest with you. I'm telling you why this channel has been how it's been. And it's been because of my condition. It's not because I haven't wanted to do content for you. It's not because there's not interesting things for me to talk about. It's because I can't. Now, once again, I'm going to do some content as best as I can, but it's going to be very spotty, unfortunately. No, Harry, I did not take the COVID vaccine. Now, a lot of this will probably stem back to my father. Because, you see, my father used to take his fist and hit me in the head over every imagined slight. Usually 3 times. The first time, now how would he put it? Now, see, this is where my brain used to be. I could recite this off instantly. Oh, yes, the first time would be supposed for the imaginary offense. The second would be lying about the imaginary offense. And then the third one would be for defiance because I didn't do it. My mother would move shit all the fucking time. Then my father would come to me, what did you do with this? Me not knowing a thing. You're lying. And it would end up with me beat in the fucking head. Now, when I used to have to take care of my mother, when I'm a full adult and after my dad's gone, one of my favorite things to do was watch my mother pick up something and set it down somewhere and then ask her, "What did you do with that?" I didn't, because my mother, at this point, the very fucking thought of her, I would strangle her if she was in my fucking sight. And I have never been that in my entire life. Just saying. But it's gotten to that point. My mother destroyed everything. My dad died 9 days after 9/11 happened. And his stock plan cut out at that time. My family lost $86,000 because of 9/11. Yep. And that's why if anyone says that 9/11 was a good thing in my presence, I'm not going to say anything at that point. I'm just going to show them thug life. At that point, I'll go up, grab them by the back of their head, put my leg behind them, flip them onto the ground, get on top of them, and go doos, 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 doos. Hello, Tasha. Well, thank you, trainer. Well, actually, now, Hookah, I've tried to call them because you see, Mindsight, who was the people, they have my social security card and all my papers, and they won't return my call. On their private numbers, they won't return my call. They have important papers of mine that like my insurance card, my social security card. Well, I'm going to block you, and I got news for you, dude. I'm a big motherfucker. Yep. I'm almost 6 tall. I have a thyroid fucking issue, and I've got a 44 fucking inch chest. And I can pick most men up and throw them. Yep, and we're sending billion. No, what's more is you're giving more to a Mexican that came here illegally than I get on my disability a month. All those people coming up from the South, when the government hands them their card, they get more a month than I do on disability. That's why I don't worry about money for foreign wars. That's what I think about. I think I should just go up there and say, I'm Roger Brownez. I come up from Mexico. Give me. But yeah, like I say, I don't worry about the billions for Ukraine or the billions for Israel. What I get upset about, like I say, is the Mexican or Guatemalan or even the Chinese guy, because listening to these stations and listening to them, they pay $10,000 to get into this country. That's typically the charge. Most of those son of a bitches are paying 10 fucking grand to get into this country. If they had 10 fucking grand, they didn't need to be here. And that is my issue with the whole immigration thing. Yep. Oh, yeah, there's a bunch. There's a bunch of people that know me. In fact, on the internet, if you have to run across me at some point, if you're an anybody, just saying. Because when I would do drama content, as I've mentioned, my skills explaining things. My skills also used to be figuring out what is going on. And larger YouTubers would go to other YouTubers. And everything with a great mystery used to filter down to me. And this is why I know many large YouTubers, and they call me by my first name because of my smarts. Now, unfortunately, because of my issues, my smarts have become irrelevant. There's a lot that I used to be able to do that I'm not able to do now. And I'm here to talk about it for my regular subscribers. Yeah, I mean, no, I mean, now a thing like, remember when I said I started having seizures in 2000? Now, see, let me reverse this. After my father died after 9/11, the next year, my mother went into a coma. And she was on life support for weeks. And the doctor said she may come out brain damaged. And she came out brain damaged. And that, at 33 years old, ended my adult life. At that very moment. You know, I went from being a happening dude, making money, living my life, looking for my person, wanting to settle down, to becoming a caregiver. And then for 10 years, I was my mother's caregiver. When my father died, he left everything to mother. And my mother spent and ruined everything. She sold all the farm equipment. I mean, we had unbelievable farm equipment. She sold it all. With me screaming, no, don't. We had parts of 2 other farms. With me screaming, no, don't. No, don't. But she did. And then all of that money, the nursing home took. Oh yeah, Ronnie. Just block anybody that you fucking feel like it. Just say it. Because as I said, I don't do YouTube for money. I do it for the people that's worthy of me doing YouTube for. And those that don't can just go on a block list. I don't dance. Bitch. Bitch Rodolfo. Hello, bitch Rodolfo. Now, I don't even feel like making fun of chat today. Just saying. Well, Catherine, maybe I'll remember you, maybe I won't. Now, see, that's where I have to, remember I say I have to laugh? Because a part of my condition is I can't remember names. No, but I could, though. You could. Now, for any of you that are into metal, it's too dark. Fuck. Eddie from Iron Maiden. Yes, Eddie the Pipe. So, like I said, I could. Doc, I love turtles. Fried. Just saying. Because living out here with my condition, I got 2 things that I will kill for dinner in a second. Bambi and a large snapping turtle. Because I have a large pond with fish in it, and we have to cull the turtles. So, yes, I like turtle. I love turtles. And I love them chopped up and fried. Well, welcome, Catherine. But yeah, like I mentioned, with my condition, I have a heart. Now, see, I remember, like, you know how I do this on YouTube. I remember your picture. And that's how I will remember you. I will remember you by your picture. You know, just like I would in real life. Well, where I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. Now, I live in Kentucky. Now, I moved to Kentucky because I knew I had to take care of my parents. Because I knew at some point my father was going to get himself killed. I mean, throughout my life, I told everyone at some point my father's going to get himself killed. And sure enough, September 20th, 2001, he got himself killed in an accident. So, that's the way it is. But, well, the thing is that's where, when you sit in the dark hours. Now, in my life, whenever I've done the wrong thing, I mean, it's just gone off perfectly. I mostly do the right thing. And whenever I do the right thing, which is most of the time, I get nothing but punished for it. Now, one of the reasons why mother had to go into a nursing home, I had a bad gallbladder. And at 15 years old, I said, I have a pain right here. And they said, nothing's wrong with your gallbladder. And I went with 27 years with a septic organ in me. And by 2010, oh God, you would not even have recognized me. I was 150 pounds. That organ had gotten so bad in me, I was about to die. And I had a 14-hour gallbladder attack. Wound up in the emergency room. In the emergency room, doctor ordered it out. Well, Coulter, my health is iffy. Like my heart pumps, my muscles work, but the problem is up here. Yeah, that is my problem. The problem is up here. And because of it all, I've ended up extraordinarily weak. I have lost, and lately, the last 6 months, I have lost a lot of muscle mass. And this is a part of the worry. And this is the part of the reason why that hopeless optimism isn't going to work. I mean, you can't tell it here, but I've lost about half the muscle on my arm, and I've lost most of the muscle on my legs. And and I'm not sure why. Well, Gaming with Jake, I'm not really sure. I mean, this is kind of why we're here. Normally, I'm here to entertain you, but, we're here for the serious talk today. But, yeah, I mean, I have a lot of trouble. And it's like right now, hold on, and like I say, this is why I stopped doing content. Because in my day, this is how I used to decide if I was going to do a live. If I didn't have to do this. Because, people say, what's wrong with you? So that's why I stopped doing daily content. And I stopped doing daily videos because when I started reviewing them, I started finding mistake. And then I just delete them. I mean, you've probably had guys in the last 3 months have had about 24 deleted videos. Because when I get ready to upload them, I will look, it's like, I don't even look good. Or I'll have mixed things up to where, okay, this isn't right, delete. And that's why you've not been having videos. Because none of my, before my uploads, I review the video, and I mean, I'm shaking my head now just remembering it. This is the point to where I would like to go into denial. But I don't do denial. In fact, all of this has just got me absolutely positively sick to my fucking stomach. As I said, there's calls and stuff that I need to be doing right now, but I can't even navigate the phone. I can hardly read chat. Honestly, I can only read when it's a black background. But when I look at shit, even on the black background, it's like I'm looking at 3 images. Now, if I had this on a white background, I would not be able to see a word that's on chat. It would all just be like you've taken 3 pages of a book, put them together, and it's trying to show me at the same time. Well, we're still going to have some fun content here. It's not going to be serious content. And this time of year, I will have a lot of late night lives. And I wasn't going to do this live, but as I've mentioned, I've only been able to do late night lives, and I wanted to talk with my regular subscribers about this issue. And so that's why when I thought, because normally I would just be sitting here doing this. And this is what I'd be sitting here doing for a couple hours, trying to get my shit together so I can go out here and do stuff. Because I can't get any food or nothing for me right now. There's no way. I've got some cans of mini ravioli in there. There's no way that I could heat up even a can of ravioli now without it ending up all over the floor. Well, thank you, Coulter. Now, this is an opinion. Once again, this is one thing on this channel I will do. Rather than how a lot of people talk things like fact, when I'll talk to you in facts when I know facts, but when I have a pure opinion, I will frame it on the opinion. And I think it's much like a boxer in his career, because I've taken too many blows to the head over my lifetime. And I think that is the issue. Now, once again, that is pure opinion. Now, when I started having seizures, my thought was a brain tumor. And I did not have a brain tumor. Spoiler. But yeah, when I started having seizures, I was also having a severe pain right here. And I had a cousin that should still be alive, and he died of a brain tumor. So when I first started having seizures, I thought I had a brain tumor. Now, finally, when I got CAT scans and all that, I do not have a brain tumor. Well, Hendrik, because this is a non-monetized channel. Because a part of me when I'm doing serious content was I have no financial interest in lying or exaggerating. And that's why this channel is not monetized. And that's why there's no Cash App. Because that way you actually get my pure opinion with no bias. Well, Christy, we'll talk about that in another live. I am going to try to deal with this all on my own. And if I may need some help at some point, but we're going to worry about that then. Right now, as your friend, I am coming here and telling you what's up. Oh, someone already got him. Ronnie, you're quicker. Apparently, I got some kind of lag because you got him before I did. Well, no, Catherine, I know I'm not well. But once again, I'm not suffering other than the fact of I can't get shit done. I mean, this place has got from where I was down for a month when I had a concussion. I've been trying to pick up things from that. And that's about all I've been able to do. Well, Coulter, we're not worrying about that now. No, we're not worrying about that now because once again, this is just me bringing my issues to my subscribers. Because there are some people that really do care about me on the internet, and this is stuff they need to know. I didn't just walk away from doing content because I didn't care. It's because I'm just not able to. Now, I am going to do more content because like right now, I normally would have not did that 6 months ago. I would have not did this live because I'm having these moments I got to stop. But once again, the time of day, so everyone can hear this, this is the best time. And I'm having problems making words right now. Now, normally there's no halt in my speech. If you go back and look through my other videos, you'll notice there's no eums in my speech. And you'll notice in my other videos and stuff, there's no halting in my speech. Because my therapist said, I do not dissociate. And that what that means is I am stuck in the moment. I don't fantasize either. That's another part of my lack of dissociation. It's a focus that normal people do not have. And you will find that in my prepared content. But when I'm not doing well, if you see any side that would be a normal dissociation, that's a sign of my condition. Oh, no, I'm not joking. Now, once again, my condition's getting worse. And, I sit here and think, am I going to die? Now, that's just a normal human reaction because, well, I've been having urinary issues too. Now, for those that don't know, I have a complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And it stems from birth. Because you see, when I was born without a large part of my urinary tract. In my first 6 months in life, I was in Children's Hospital in Cincinnati, and they put a urinary tract in me. It required 3 surgeries, and each one they said I would not live the night. And this was in the 1960s. And that left me pretty messed up. Now, another interesting thing, if I ever have to have a surgery regarding that, it's paid for by corporate donation. That's a lifetime thing that I get. Because like I said, my birth surgeries and being in Children's Hospital in Cincinnati, I get lifetime. Now, I have to pay the doctor. That is the one thing that I am responsible for. But if I ever have to have a surgery, I have to pay the doctor fee, but the rest of it is covered. Oh, no, I don't have a Cash App. Stella, I will always remember you. And Stella, I miss listening to your voice on your channel. Now, I know you're dealing with junk too. And remember before when we talked, Stella, and I mentioned that I was dealing with stuff. This is the stuff I was dealing with. It's just I was on my way downhill at that point. Just a minute, everyone. Damn, I need to blow my nose. Damn. I can do it on this. This will work. My work shirt has got to be washed bad anyway. Because, yeah, like I say, but, my condition is constant. I mean, I would love to get up and go get a drink of water. But I'd fall and bust my head before I got to that door. Jerry, I can't write no more. That's a part of my problem. My eyes are so problematic right now. If I have to write down a phone number, I have to use the entire page. Literally. Not kidding. For me to write down a phone number and be able to see it again, I literally have to do the whole page. I've been trying to do content on my story channel, and I can't do it. I mean, as I've mentioned before, there's been video after video after video that I have made, and not one of them has passed my test. I don't look right. I keep messing shit up. Well, I keep doing this because that's me hitting the delete button. Because every video I make, I sit there, watch a review, and then I hit that delete button, and then I get upset. Then I sit down here, and days later, I'll try it again, and, well, it's just how it's going to be. Well, thank you, Henrik. Well, thank you. Hello, Escaping the Void. Well, thank you, Tracy. But normally I don't do woe is me content. I mean, that's why we're having this talk. Because normally I put on a brave face, I do my content, and I do it in a way that no one really knows anything's wrong. And that's what I've been doing for a long time. And once again, I used to do videos every day. And that's when I stopped doing that. That's when this started. So it's been going on for a long time. Because, it's been a long time since I did daily videos. And I'm just upset now. I mean, I'm upset at me. I'm upset at the world. I'm upset at how everything ended up. But there's nothing any of us can do about it. Well, Cass, nothing. There's nothing you can do if I have a seizure. But that's why I have this chair and these spots that I have. Like I say, you can't see it, but right here, and as you can see, this is how deep I'm in this chair. I'm into this chair all the way up to here because I took the back out of it. And that puts me so deep in the chair. If I have a seizure, it's like where I'm sitting here now, I can't hit my head. I have a spot like this in this room, in the living room, and in the master bedroom. And those are the three places that I sit. And this is why you see me in this spot doing YouTube. Because this is the most safe place out of the three if I have a seizure. Spun. Now remember I say things sometimes upset me? The last time I tried to sleep in the master bedroom, I ended up in the floor. I tried to roll over. It ended up in the floor. And that's another reason why I've been in here sleeping. Now, once again, Walmart back in 2017. Now, see, after my first seizure, and doing that in a group, I'm like, I don't want to have a seizure in public again. And then, in front of friends. And then I had seizures in front of friends. Now, that's one reason why I don't have friends anymore. Because you see, it's a killjoy. See, my friends from several years ago are all gone. Because it's not uncomfortable when, you're sitting there having a good time and I have a seizure. It kind of blows the mood of the room. So people stop inviting you over. People stop calling you. They stop stopping by. And that was in the first year of seizures. I understand why. And I understand why people were that way. It hurts. But it is. That's where that's why when people on the internet think that they can hurt me saying something. No. Everyone in my life hurt me so much. There's not one thing anyone on the internet can say that will hurt me. So, that's, and from the 10 years of taking care of my mother, then I almost died myself. Now, going back to the story for the new people, after I almost died from that gallbladder, wow, I was fucked up. I mean, it took me about 2 years to get my strength back. I mean, I had went down to a skeleton. Now, for those of you that talk about, where I talk about, there's times in my life that, I looked reminiscent of a Eugenia Cooney. That was back then too. Now, that didn't last long. Because after I got that gallbladder out, food became amazing. For most of my life, most things didn't have a good flavor to me at all. There was hardly anything that I would eat. And that was because of that gallbladder. And after I got that gallbladder out, Oh my God, food tastes so much better now. I'm trying to look at your chat. Hold on, everyone. Normally, like I say, it's that hard for me to focus on anything. And it's the white letters. But if it wasn't for the black background, I wouldn't be able to see it at all. Well, thank you, Deborah. Hold on, everyone. Yeah, like I said, I'm doing more spinning. But yeah, when I like this stuff that I'm having now, this is why a lot of times I wouldn't do lives because people say he's fucked up or he's on drugs. No, I'm just, my head is spinning that bad. I wish I was on drugs. Put it that way. Just a minute, everyone. This one's a big one. Starting to tremble a little too. Now, if you notice I'm trembling a little bit, I do this many times pre-seizure. You may get to see that seizure today. But when I start to have the spinning and I start to rock a little bit, yeah, now see, this is my seizure clue. Remember how we talk about sometimes on this channel, people say, do you feel like do you know you're going to have a seizure? I'm going to have a seizure. Now, this seizure could happen anywhere from the next 5 minutes to the next 12 hours. But at the point that I start doing this, trembling a little bit, I'm going to have a seizure. Yep, the question is just when. Now, I have been having seizures lately, but I've been having them in my sleep. And when I've been having the seizures, I'll be waking up shaking in the middle of the night. And that sucks, by the way, because when you get up, you feel like you've never went to bed. Thank you, Lama. But that is how it is. I'm having a hard time thinking, everyone. Just a moment. But yeah, this is why I stopped doing daily content, because I have these moments. And this is why I stopped doing lives every week. Because I used to give you guys a minimum of 2 lives every week. And that's what I would like to do on this channel if I had my way. I'd make sure to give you 2 lives a week and 1 at an appointed time. But because of my condition, now for those that's been here, you remember that I used to do 1 live at an appointed time a week. And sometimes those lives wouldn't happen, and that would be when I would be like this. But yeah, this is why I stopped doing that, because I got to where there is about no time that you could give that I wouldn't be like this. Well, Deborah, we're not fully sure. Now, after they did my neurological stuff, they said it was psychological, and they sent me to the therapist. Now, when I had a good therapist, she had a professional go over all of my readings. And this professional said that while I am having a seizure, there's something that's not connecting in my brain. And we do not know why this is so. Now, it is more than likely that my father's fist when I was a little child is the culprit, because he used to hit me in the head practically every day, sometimes multiple times, but it would always be in threes. And my mother wouldn't spank me. She would take the back of her hand and go right across my face. So it's probably my parents' discipline methods that caused all of this. So if you see me talk nasty about my parents, this is why. Because at this point, I'm pretty upset. I fixed all their messes. I took care of them in their final years. And this is how I'm rewarded. Now, Cass, speaking of rainstorms, now if anyone looked at the community tab, I am happy to have power because yesterday they didn't get power on until about dark. I was up at around 5 o'clock in the morning and the power went out. And then all of yesterday, we had no power here at all. And it was starting to look like that we might be out for days because a large part of Somerset, Kentucky was out of power because of the storms. Now, fortunately, they got it on last night. And then I sat and listened to audiobooks, and that's what I'm mainly doing because I can't read books anymore. I have a heart because normally I would like go into chats and just hang out in places and entertain. But I have such hard time reading chats now that I really can't. In fact, oh shit. Can't do it on that one. Well, Cass, I was going to go ahead and give you a wrench because as I said, I can't read a lot of chat anymore. I have to kind of glance at it every now and then, focus on it too long to figure out what it said. So I am going to give you a wrench. I just can't do it from this phone right now. Well, Christy, I will. But once again, I'm not like Nicolina or the rest of them that takes it. Oh, shit. I'm dying for something to drink and there ain't nothing. I'm not like Nicolina and all them. And if I can get all my junk sorted out, I'll be fairly fine. Now, my day-to-day junk, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. But whenever I have functionality now, I try to pick up or do. And that, if I had some functionality, that's what I would be doing right now. I would be doing. But I don't. I get where I'm off and I sit in this chair. And like I say, normally I would be sitting here by myself listening to some news or an audiobook. But I thought since, a lot of people that I want to connect with are going to be up and listening right now, because since I've not been doing content, YouTube is not sending out notifications when I do go live. And Christy, like I say, and I am going to need help at some point, but I want any help that I get to not be wasted. That's just a Roger thing. If someone is going to be nice enough to help me, I want to make sure that nothing is ever wasted from that help. Now, I'm going to try to get up, everyone. Now, if I fall, I will talk. But I'm going to try to get up and open the door because I need to get something to drink at some point. Now, you see, this is how I have to get out of the chair. Because like I say, I have to get up this way because you can't see it. It's like I have railings. And I got to stand here for just a second. I'm holding on to the back of the other chair. This is another reason why I've been sleeping on 2 chairs. Because when I stand up, I have the back of this other chair to hold on to. And then I put my hand on the wall. And now I got the door open. Hello, Richella. How you doing, Chella? Chella Chew. We have a Richella. Richella, please. Richella, don't run in front of me, honey. I'll be right there. I didn't go far, but like I say, I have to go utterly slow. This is what I brought you to see. You gonna run away? Oh, you're gonna bounce away on me? How about we just... put my elbow here. And like I say, I kind of have to crawl in this chair. This is one of the 3 new kittens. This is the little girl. Notice she looks a lot like Summer, but with a tail. Well, Cass, this is my normal. I mean, this is my everyday. This is a hellion. She wants to grab and she says, I'm too busy, I'm too busy, I'm too busy. And she won't take a name. I shut the door, sorry. She is a little tiny hellion. Absolutely positively. Oh, she got a flea. Come here, honey, I'll flea comb you. Also, this is the other thing that I do with my condition. When I'm feeling real bad, all I really do is I sit in this chair, I listen to news or an audiobook, and I flea comb the kitties. No, Ronnie, I can't do it on this phone. I have to do it on this other, and I'm not good enough to do it right now. Come here, baby. 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 Like I said, this kitten won't take a name. I've been trying cool names for her, and the only thing she'll ever answer to is stupid shit. Chili powder. Well, usually when I say something stupid, she answers. Not today. Oh, it's real easy, Cass. It's just an interface. Come here, baby. Well, I'll let you. Hold on, everyone. This kitten doesn't want to be with us. It wants let out. Now, normally, that kitten is up my ass. So that's why I thought I'd... Go ahead. Door's open. Get out. Go. Whatever. You do you. And normally she's a sweetie. But apparently she has no interest in me at the moment. So once again, if a cat don't want to... Now, that's a rarity here, because usually cats around here, they want to be up my butt. That one just, it has no use for me at the moment. Well, here's the Richella. Richella to you. This is normally what we do at the beginning of every live. Richella will come to me because she'll realize that I'm live, and she will display for you. And this is the mummy. Yes, this is the mommy kitty, Richella. See, she knows how to do YouTube. She knows you're there. And she's entertaining. You see, she was born with YouTube. Now, her mother normally is my other YouTube buddy. So like I said, this cat's grown up doing YouTube. I might, because normally I don't call my cats kitty. Because the reason for that is so people can't just go, here, kitty, 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 and get my cat. I have special names for them. But I mean, the thing is that other little kitten, she will not answer to anything. Now, I take that back. Funny, I screamed cellular phone, and she answered to that. But I don't want to call my cat cellular phone. That's what I was saying. The only thing she's been popping up at when you say it is something stupid. Something you would never name a cat. I mean, I've tried dozens of beautiful female names. Okay, Cass, take care. Actually, if you wanted loud farts, you'll have to sleep with me. You know, that's kind of the rule. I mean, if you want my farts, you're going to have to sleep with me. Oh, I'm getting, yeah, Rachel's getting all lovey. Yeah, you're a big baby. She says, we're doing YouTube. See, she gets a lot of attention when we do YouTube, and she knows it's a time she can get attention. So Rachella loves YouTube. Don't you? So I'm a YouTube kitty. Well, thank you, Brunette Batty. Hello, Rides Above. I'll be leaving updates in Discord, but I have not been well. I've not been well at all, and things are not going well. That's why we're here. Remember those late night lives? We're having a live talking about all that during the day so people will see it. Because my notifications aren't going out. Because none of my sock accounts are even getting notifications for this channel. YouTube has hidden me. Actually, Anthony, you can go away. I mean, I don't know why people just decide to waste their chance on this channel by saying something to get them instantly blocked. It's not going to upset me. I mean, the amount of hate I get on YouTube is astounding anyway. Now, the funny thing is, in real life, if you say anything disrespectful to me, I will reach over and grab an object and I will start hitting you in the head with it. Repeatedly. Now, see, this is where, I mean, these internet morons, like I say, my disability is for complex PTSD. If you get in my face in real life and start being disrespectful, I will sail you through a plate glass window without a thought. I'll just say, goodbye, and I will sling you through plate glass, and then I will laugh. Now, if it ends up it's not plate glass and it's plastic, then I'm going to come back and grab you by the head and slam your head in it repeatedly. Just saying. You know, I get a check for a good reason. I mean, as I said, I used to be a drug dealer and a thug back in my 20s. I mean, that's where I kind of laugh when, you know, people, you know, the professionals said I threatened them when all I said is I have rights. I'm like, you have no idea what a threat actually sounds like, people. Spam dumb shit in my chat and you're just get blocked. As I said, I do not monetize this YouTube. Now, once again, another reason I don't monetize the YouTube is because that means if anybody's disruptive in any way, I can instantly just make them go away and I don't give a fuck. Oh, we got another kitty. This is Zorabelle, the baby Grace. She's just over a year old. And she is Rachella's daughter. Now, the two kitties that you've seen are Rachella's two daughters. This is her older daughter, and the little hoppy one is her younger daughter. And she is a sweetie. And she needs a home. She needs a person of her own to love on her. Because I got too much furry kitty to give enough love to. She gives kisses and hugs and kisses. And she sits upside down and looks at your YouTube. She says, hey. She's imitating her mother. This is what her mother does. And she's imitating her mommy. Now, the funny thing is, this is the third now, I trained Summer to do this. I trained Rachella to do this. And she just wants to do this. She says, I want to do this because my mommy does it. Don't you, baby? And she's tiny. Even though she's a year old, she's a tiny, tiny kitty. Let's sit you down, honey. I'm about to drop you. But yeah, she's sweet. Now, unfortunately, or fortunately, now in the winter it was nice because she likes to get right here and lay. And this is what she's been trying to do these last 2 nights. And as you know, it's hot and I don't have any air conditioning. So I've been having to put her down. But this is where she wants to sleep. Now, on the last Ernie's Live that I was on his panel for hours and she was sleeping on top of me. And I mean, you can like throw her over your shoulder. She'll sleep like this. I'll throw over my shoulder. I mean, literally, it's just like I'm holding a freaking baby. Well, now I'm going to have the seizure because in my head right now, I feel like I'm shaking. Even though I'm not trembling right now, it feels like my head's doing this. That's the way to do it. You know, it feels like one half's doing like this and the other half's doing that. I'm going to have a seizure at some point. I'm just using that as an example because it feels like I'm going one way and the other. You know, it feels like this. You know, if you do this in your head, you know, twist your head back and forth, it feels like I'm doing that when my head's not moving. I'm going to have the seizure. It's just a question of when. You know, it could happen now, next 5 minutes. It could happen next 3 hours. It could happen 12 hours from now. It's just how it is. Now, usually it's about 3 to 5 hours. Usually more towards 3. That's why I didn't immediately end this live. Because usually when I start feeling it, it's a few hours later. But yeah, it's going to happen at some point. Now, my only issue is I need water. And I've got a cooler of fresh spring water in the barn. Even got a little spigot on it I can put for a glass. It's just, that was why I went and got the kitty, was kind of a test walk. And I am walking better than when I sat down. I am doing a little bit better. But I'm not good enough to get to the barn. I'm good enough to get from here to the other side of the living room, which this room attaches to the living room. You know, that getting the kitty was kind of, you know, it was a double-edged thing. It was a little entertainment for you, and it was me seeing if I could go get myself water. But yeah, I'm having a lot of spinning. Yeah, I think I'm going to go here in a minute because I'm having a lot more spin. Now, what sucks is after I get here, I'm going to be thinking like, I want a glass of water. But I'm not able to make that walk right now. Now, when I am able to make that walk, I will get that cooler's almost empty. It's probably only got about a gallon of water left in it. And I will bring the whole cooler in here. It's just, it's cooler in the barn. And there's a spot where I can put it in the shade in the barn. And it's like the coolest place on the farm. So that's normally why, you know, if anyone's wondering, why is it in the barn? That's why it's in the barn. And because I have no running water, that's also where I use the bathroom at. So usually when I have a bathroom break, you know, I'll also bring the water back for the house. And normally I can stumble my way to there, but not today. It's gotten bad enough to where I can't walk through the field anymore. Used to be when I had to go to the store. Well, normally when I go to the store, not used to be. It's going to be used to be. But I can't get through the field right now. It's just too hard. You know, I can only do flat surfaces. but yeah, I'm gonna have to go because I'm just getting to where I'm just gonna have to sit here like this, and I don't want to get to where half of my live is me sitting here doing this. It feels better with my eyes closed. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get off here in just a minute. I'm going to put on an audiobook. I'm going to sit here and be thirsty. And then when I think I can get up, I'm going to get up and go get myself some water. And then I guess today's dinner is going to be Chef Boy, 1 can of, now this is all I'll have today. 1 can of Chef Boyardee. And that's going to be it for the day. Now, I'll have days that I don't get just that, but this is the end of the month, so I'm lucky to even have that. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and go because, as I said, my brain is halting, my speech is starting to get halting, and this is just going to get worse. So, yeah, I'm just going to sit here and listen to the audiobook I was listening to last night. Now, I think on my community tab, I am going to start posting audiobooks. Just for, if someone's interested in it, because that is mainly what I do with most of my time now, because of my inability to see chats well and stuff. That's about all I've been doing is listening to news and audiobooks. And I've gotten to where I can't stand the news, so it's just been audiobook after audiobook after audiobook. So the ones that seem to entertain me more, I'll probably start linking them on my tab. Now, thank you for coming, everyone. I'd like to talk more about this. I have a little bit more to say, but my head, I don't think I can articulate it now. And this is a part of my problem. My head will start getting swimming, and it will get so much to where I have a hard time thinking. So we'll go ahead and get off here now. And thank you for coming. And the new people, I wish we could have met in a better manner. But on here, because of my condition, we're going to be having a lot of late night lives because that's about the only time I've been functional. And when it gets really hot here, it's the only cool time to where I'm just not going to be a sweating mess. Now, thank you for coming, everybody. Have a good day and have a good time. And hopefully the next time I'm here, we'll just do that. Have a good time. Good night.